You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa, what up, everybody? What it do? Happy Tuesday. I'm your host, Al Mega. Para que tú sepas, que estamos. Body Supremo de Isabela. And I'm hanging out today with another fellow Boricua creator, indeed, that we've had on previously. But he's about to share some awesome updates about his amazing project, Veilwalker, which is going to be available soon on Indiegogo. You know, so here we are. We're going to get updates. We're going to understand why Indiegogo and a whole lot more. This may get a little interesting, folks. Who am I talking about? The one and only OFFI. Wepa, Papa, what's going on?
Dímelo cantando.
Ahí que estamos, para que tú sepas. All right, so what up, kiddo? How you been? How you living?
I've been good. I'm living good, living fabulous, and living the dream, man. Or at least trying to, right?
Aren't we all? Aren't we all? So
do.
So talk about that creative journey, man. The last time we spoke, man, you had that Kickstarter. So, you know, let's talk about that. How'd that go?
Kickstarter did pretty well. It actually did a little better than I thought it would initially.
Okay.
But not as good as I hoped it would. Right?
Because when you're meaning what?
So when you're doing these type of things, you got to have two expectations, right? A legitimate expectation where you think logically the campaign is going to go. And that's what you kind of base everything around, base the rewards, base shipping and all that. So you do it around the logical expectation. But then you also have a bit of hope. And you say, hey, look, I kind of hope that we're going to go this far. Okay. So we landed sort of on the expectation and the logical expectation. But again, you know, an unproven commodity, a brand new book by a author that hasn't published anything, got 191 people to back his book, right? So I think that was a successful.
Wow, man! So you got the 5 racks on less than 200 people. Beautiful. Check that out. Yeah, that's wonderful. How did you feel, man, when you got that notification? Like, okay, funded.
Yeah. So we set the goal for 3K. We set the goal for 3K, and when I got that notification, it was a weight off my shoulders. Because I think I had explained to you before, I had tried to do a Kickstarter previously. And we were trying to do the Veilwalker as like a graphic novel, 80-something pages, where like the funding goal was like $55,000.
Got to going big.
Right, we were going as I go big, go home. This is what we want to do. I think the art speaks for itself. But you know, it was 30 days, and we got $500 on that first campaign.
Oh wow! 500, wow.
Yeah, man. I cried tears of joy when that campaign hit 3K and we funded. So
awesome, brother! Congratulations,
good,
that's amazing. So how did the overall after post Kickstarter go then, and all that?
It went well. A lot of busy work.
Were you used to that? Did you expect the heaviness of it, or were you like doing it and whistling?
Nah. So what it is you don't expect how much work comes from it, especially when it's your first time doing it. Mm-hmm. First campaign. None of my creators had ever done a campaign before. They're veterans of the industry. They're working for the big boys, but they hadn't done really crowdfunding before, so they kind of really didn't understand what the process would be afterwards.
So what was the biggest challenge then out of that process then? Because again, I love this. You know, you were a first timer. There goes Mario Esco. Wepa. Yeah, yo, Mario.
Yo.
Okay, hi, Papo. He has a great show. You gotta check him out on YouTube too. Amazing show, bro. For real. Good people's right there. Part CNN. So what was one of the biggest lessons you learned as a first time? Like, okay, I did my Kickstarter. I funded good. Step 1.
Step 1, right? Funding. So the biggest challenge we had, and it kind of wasn't because of anything anyone did, but like COVID was difficult for us.
Man, that's true. The campaign was through that. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
a couple people got sick. Work for me got pretty heavy. I work in the medical field, so work for me got a little difficult. And
thank you for your service.
I appreciate.
You were soldiers, brother. Yeah, I was soldiers too.
I wish I could accept that, but what I do is I sell insurance.
Hey, bro, you were helping people. Let's get the insurance, make sure them bills get paid, son. That's a task in itself.
Yeah. So it was sort of managing everybody through COVID and through the
Okay.
ups and downs. One of our artists didn't let us know that his wife was pregnant, and
Oh.
they had a child, like right while
Oh,
we were ready to finalize pages. So that really set us
God.
back a few
How
weeks, and
convenient. How convenient. Hey, by the way, I just had a baby. What you mean? I didn't even, what?
it came out of the blue. But you know what? I prayed for the child, and I prayed for the family. I prayed for
Well, I hope it
everybody.
wasn't out of the blue for him, because that would be some bochinche.
That would have been weird, right? He just found out. No, but yeah, so we kind of had to deal with all that, and finally, I would say about a week and a half ago, we got all the pages done in regards to the line art and the inking,
Okay.
and right now they're being colored. So my hope is to deliver not only the Kickstarter campaign, but our upcoming campaign by Halloween.
Hey, upcoming campaign, folks. That's right. You're gonna be doing that Indiegogo right now on that. So, what are you looking to accomplish by also using the Indiegogo platform?
So here's the thing about Kickstarter and kind of what some of the research I've done led me to sort of go the Indiegogo route is not everybody on Kickstarter, and again, not everybody on Indiegogo, but I hope you guys kind of understand where I'm going here, is not everybody on Kickstarter wants a male protagonist, traditional comic book lead,
Okay.
right? So I believe that on Indiegogo, there's a much larger market and a much higher demand for a character like the Veilwalker, like Alexander, some of the other things that we're doing.
Okay.
So let's give Indiegogo a chance, and to prove my assumption correct, hopefully that Indiegogo has a much higher need for or a want for this type of character.
No,
So
I
that's kind
do
of why we're
see.
going that way.
I mean, I don't know what the true numbers are, but I do see that a lot of Indiegogo projects do get funded like immensely. Because there seems to be a large, hungry community there. Or I don't know if maybe Indiegogo is more accessible. Again, I don't understand. I haven't done a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo. I haven't dabbled in that yet. Who
Right.
knows one day? But actually, you know what? I'm indie. I'm a go getter. So I'm that type of dude. I'd rather do it myself. Say I did
100%.
it.
Yeah.
Um. But
So yeah.
that's
So
awesome. Uh-huh.
yeah. No. So I was just gonna say, like, if you look at sort of some of the biggest projects on Kickstarter, they're the mainstream projects. They're the Keanu Reeves book. They're Spawn. I know you're a big fan of Spawn.
I
Spawn
love
had
Spawn. That's
that
my
had that
joint, son.
campaign on Kickstarter, right?
He's that figure smashed it, yo. Oh my god, didn't the figures
Numbers.
right? I mean, dude, I was trying. Damn it, man. I was just watching it to tease myself because unfortunately I didn't have the funds to dip in. But God, thank you, Bobo, and I forgot the gentleman that he wanted from. Blessed me with the figure. Because
Oh,
Bobo won it, and then he forwarded me the modern Kickstarter figure. Check this out. Such
let
a
me
beautiful.
see that, man. Don't drop it now.
Oh hell no! These are my babies. You crazy? It's like I'd rather drop my kids in than these toys. I mean, look at that beautiful figure.
Come on, man. That is amazing. So I told you before,
Look at
man.
this. Look at this, bro.
It's amazing.
It's gorgeous, bro. Then with the plasma knife right here. That's how I have him looking at. He's Boricua, so I put the knife in his hand.
Yeah. So give me a sec. My camera actually just gave out on me. Leave it up
No,
to me to drop my cam. Hold on.
that's all correct, kiddo. So we're just gonna continue on this. It was Spawn. He cursed you right now. He's like,
That's what
mira.
it was. He knows what I was gonna say.
He was like ready to yo. You gonna talk shit about me?
Yeah, he knows exactly what I was gonna say.
So what is that?
So we're switching cameras here.
Okay.
Doesn't look as nice, but we're gonna roll with
Looks
it.
great anyway. Go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is Spawn was a huge influence on the Veilwalker and kind of that design, that sort of traditional 90s design. I've had a lot of people come and tell me, it's like, look, when we look at the Veilwalker, we see a lot of that traditional 90s comic book in him, right? Comic book hero. And
Even
that's
in the
kind of what I was
style,
going
kid.
for.
Even in the style, because again, you're talking to a '90s kid right here. You know what I mean? So I kind of do understand that it is that style. It's fun. Everything about that you did with this book, as far as I saw, was definitely it does fit that narrative. and it's fun. And again, it's not a book that takes itself seriously. It's just a great story with beautiful art. You know what I mean?
100%.
And again, I can understand as well. Nowadays sometimes books just go a little bit too crazy. And don't delve too much into the story. But building this character that gets boring at times. It gets into that adventure. This is why I love Conan.
Right.
Homie, just every issue he's cutting somebody's head off or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, like what Alexander and the Veilwalker, man, what we wanted to do was I wanted to create a character that had people talking for a long time, like used to happen a lot in the 90s when we were growing up, right?
Yeah.
Personally, I look at a lot of the characters that are being created right now or coming out right now, and just none of them are giving us much to talk about. Well, all right, they're giving us a lot to talk about, but maybe not as positive as a reception as some of these other characters got. So I kind of wanted to go back to that, create those characters, and really get it started. And that's what I'm doing, man. And hopefully people agree with me and we get rolling.
Yeah, but you know what? Let's share some beautiful images, in regards to the campaign, so people could see how gorgeous this book is, and what you share it. And this actually, you made some Indiegogo special pages as well, right? For this covers,
Yes,
and
sir.
whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Epa! Yeah,
Yes,
hustler supreme over here. Let me tell you.
So
Let's
we
talk-
actually,
yeah.
no, I was just gonna say, so we had a cover in the works that we wanted to have it on our Kickstarter.
Okay.
And this was another reason why we initially started going over to Indiegogo, right? Because we had some things that just weren't ready for the Kickstarter.
Oh, okay.
Which was, for example, that cover, right? That black and red cover done by George Fornes, who is currently on Rorschach.
That's beautiful, bro.
Thank you,
Beautiful.
man. He killed it, man.
I'm really just curious. What's this? Yeah, this is fire. I want one like right now.
I could. I'll give you one on Saturday. How about that?
Epa, yo, what's this? What's this?
Oh man, I got it around here somewhere. So what that is it's a pin. It's the Veilguard pin.
That shit is hot, bro. The design is gorgeous, and the coloring. And then that little face in the middle is what messes me up. I love it. So horror.
Thank you. It's people will really understand that there's a lot of intricate detail in there.
There is, brother. You got a demon in the back. You got that devil face in the front. You got them wings, bro. And just the color scale is gorgeous.
Our colorist, the same guy who did the cover, the main cover, did that.
Wepa. Well, what a hand, kiddo. What a hand.
So one thing I want to say about that pin is people, as they start to read the story and sort of the arc start to go through and we start to reveal some things, they'll start to realize that there's a lot that we're giving away in the pin, and something on that pin means everything on that pin means something
within the book. Hey. All right. Let's not tease people. We'll talk about how they could get their hands on something like this as we go along. All right. But let's take a look at the gorgeous cover up front and beautiful. Let me even put it a little bit bigger just for y'all to appreciate. Look how gorgeous that is. How did you land him, brother? What a blessing.
It was a blessing. So I landed him through some connections. One thing that I'll tell everybody, and if you want to get into comics, if you want to get into insurance sales, if you want to get into whatever, network and get to know people, man.
I agree, brother. I have friends that tell me that they speak to people and they just mention, "Oh yeah, have you heard of these guys? Oh yeah, I know Al." And then how the hell they come back to me? How the hell they you're building like this old web that is going across globally? Yes, sir, that's right. Because I want to be that person that could help the next person. That's all. Whenever 100%. I could help, hey, like you hit me, hey, you know this, yeah, toma.
100%. I think it doesn't hurt anybody to just. It
doesn't.
If you went through a door that was open, you hold it open behind you. Let somebody else come in through.
I do, yeah, man. Especially if they're good. I just don't send anybody over. You know what I mean? But if you have that great energy, I'll give it to you double.
100%.
Ooh, what's this? Ooh, so look how sexy.
So that's an actual page from the book, and that was done by artist Josh Shaw. That is page 3.
Ooh,
they're finalizing. So we're finalizing a few things on the pencils there, but they're hitting colors. They actually hit colors yesterday.
Really nice. Yeah, I love the black. You should drop a black and white edition on this bad boy, kiddo.
I'll consider it if we can. If people really want it and they ask for it.
Look at that. That looks gorgeous. I would so want a black and white on this. Look at this. Don't you see this? Wow. Yeah, dude, you should drop a black and white in this bad boy. Look at this panel work and look at the character. Hell yeah! Are you this was my '90s goatee too, bro. Are you actually with the mustache? Al used to rock a mustache just like this. I gotta find a picture. I could have cosplayed this motherfucker in the '90s.
You listen. A lot of people say, "Hey, man, you're doing a self-insert." Wrong. Alexander looks nothing like me. If anything, I am inserting my brother into my comic book.
Oh, word, bro. So we were bodies from the same ilk. I had my fade like that, with my goatee like that. Oh, nice. Except that my middle was a little thinner back then. That's how I kept it.
It wasn't everybody's.
Yeah, hey, you know I'm talking about that. El estilo guapo, right? Trying to be all guapo and shit.
Rico Suave, you know.
Exactly. I
How we
mean,
used to
don't
do it.
even mention that was a shame on Latino Rico Suarez. Stop it, I fall.
Hey, man, I took it in stride.
Bro, that Rico Suarez, yeah, you know how much fun they made of us because of that shit. God damn, bro. That was just like a racist joke. That damn serious for me.
Look, the way I looked at it is, hey, you calling me Rico Suave, but so's your girlfriend, so whatever.
Toma. Hey, wow, what's this and who this?
So that's actually one of our supporting characters, right? You know, equal opportunity. I create a little bit of everybody, and you know, we
What's
got
her background? Her name and her background, quickly.
So her name is Samantha Redcroft.
Mm.
All right, and she is actually one of the strongest mages or mana users, is what we call them in the Veilguard universe. Okay. She's one of the strongest mana users around, and she's actually one of Alexander's proteges. Okay. So Alexander has a few, and then we're gonna meet him. You know, think of Alexander as Batman, and all of these are his Robins and Nightwings. You know.
Oh man! Oh shit, bro! What's this?
So I wanted to tease everybody with this, man. So we just got this done. This is a 3D mock-up that we did. It stands at about 7 or 8 inches tall. Unfortunately, it includes a rock. I wish it was 7 or 8 inches just the character, but you know.
He said.
Right, so it's about 7 or 8 inches. And listen, man, bro. If people want it, I can make it happen.
What's popping? What we need to do if we want? Yo, this is fire, dude.
If people want it, I can make it happen. So here's the thing, right? I was talking to my peoples. We were looking at that campaign. We did some numbers, and we're like, look, this is going to be a limited supply, like limited bulk.
What's the limited? What's the number? You got a number?
Minimum, we would have to do 10.
Okay. Wow, that's extremely limited.
Like we would have to get 10 orders in order to justify it, because it's going to be.
Oh, folks, look at this.
So here's the thing: it'll be 3D printed, right, in sections, so professionally 3D printed in resin.
So it'll be like a maquette type,
right? And then it'll be hand painted.
Hand painted, individually hand painted.
Each one will be individually hand painted.
Wow.
So
I mean, who's doing the hand painting? Because this mock-up right here is gorgeous.
So that mock-up it's already in color. So the guy who created the 3D render created it in color. The colors are going to be a little different when we do the hand painting. But as of right now, we have one artist. He's a buddy of ours. He plays lots of Dungeons and Dragons. We've seen some of his figures; they're amazing. And we're like, listen, man, let's get somebody from the community. Let's get one of the insiders. Let's get one of the guys to do it. And so he's going to be one of them. But again, we're considering it, the price tag on a statue. And listen, me being a humble young man, right, from a humble family, I would hate, and it embarrasses me to say, hey, look, if we do these statues, each one's going to be so much. Like, I can't ask people for that much money. But we're considering it. If people really want it and people really, you know, voice up and say, hey, look, we're interested, then I'll see what I can do.
Okay, So you can't speculate on the possible number right now? The range, at least?
The range, we're looking anywhere from 250 to like 350, 400.
There you go. So 250 to 4, the range for an exclusive 1 of 10, folks. 1 of 10 that will ever be made. I mean, you know what? For that type of exclusivity, definitely worth it. At least in my opinion. That's totally exclusive, son.
And it's sort of a spiritual representation of the cover, right? So if you look at the main cover, it's basically the same pose, except for the cape. We thought that the cape or the overcoat being down just looked a little better. So
No, that is a gorgeous looking statue, man. All right, and there's another conversation we're gonna have to have here, brother, because you dropped a whole bomba, if you will, bomba on me again. Just because of my history with these folks. However, just want to understand your logic. There is, I'm not here to judge you or anything, of course. I just want to, I want you to educate me on the whys, right? So here comes the bomba question, my friend. And folks, this is a question you've never really heard me ask before. You've heard me talk a little bit about it, but never really get into it. But as a Latino creator, brother, what's this news about you, being part of the movement that is Comics Gate?
Wow. All right. So
Yeah, you dropped it on me. I was like, all right, I gotta understand the whys. And again, we're humans, and I don't normally talk to politics, but I just again want to understand.
right.
So hopefully here we could educate and just try to understand. And again, I'm not supporting anything. Period. The Comic Crusaders, I'm gonna stand firm, just because of my past experiences. I don't support that hashtag on any scale. I want to just make that clear before we start into the conversation here, folks. Comic Crusaders does not support this hashtag just because of certain treatments that I've seen and just things that we've gone through as a brand because of the group. And I know it's not everybody, but I feel a type of way about that. But also, this is journalism. This is what we got to talk about, and I'm not here to be confrontational, but I want my brother here to talk to me and just say, okay, this is the whys, guys. And, yeah, I'm not here to get mad at you, man, Mano. So, you know what? I'm leaving the floor to you. So, the question at hand. Go for it.
No, and I appreciate it. And one of the reasons that I wanted to, and I was happy that we were able to set up this campaign to start off with you, is because I knew you were going to be fair in regards to the question and my opinion on it, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of prefaced it like, hey, I'm not into the politics, neither am I. I didn't join Comicsgate because of any particular politics.
Okay.
What I saw was a community that I agreed with quite a bit in certain aspects in regards to comic books.
What are those aspects, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what type of aspects?
So on our last interview, right, that we had, I mentioned to you why I created Ritmo.
Okay.
Right. Where it was a sort of race swapped version of Spider-Man that, in my opinion, tried to initially make two different demographics happy at the same time. But yet for me, they sort of dropped the ball on one side of it, especially with that last movie. I didn't feel represented enough.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, not only did you race swap a character, which obviously it that one time it was moderately successful, but there have been other characters that have been swapped or this or that just made everybody unhappy. Because not only are you getting rid of a classic, but yet the character that you're creating doesn't represent people that you're trying to represent enough.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, all right, here I am. I am a new creator. I'm trying to create new characters. I'm trying to establish myself. And yet here these people are just continuing to race swap traditional characters or gender swap traditional characters instead of giving new creators and new characters a chance.
But that's also, legalities and contract stuff, because certain publishers don't want to pay for that type of stuff. So, I could understand why an independent creator, unless they're going to get a piece of the ownership, won't do that. So these companies are now forced, because I know who you're talking about. The Marvel and DC just are giving chump change to creators for a new creation.
Right.
I don't like sometimes, like, I think Miles Morales, and I will always ask you, deserves his own name. Peter's not dead, in my opinion. So, I like what Disney did and call him Kid Arachnid. That was awesome. He had his own name. I want that. So I could understand where you're coming from with
Yeah,
with that, but they're not properties we own. This is why
right.
I always tell people go to indie, because again, if you don't appreciate what they're doing, you don't need to hate on them for that.
Of course.
And that's the problem that I see with this community that you're part of. They don't just leave it alone. Find,
Right.
create, and find what you like. Why the attacks? But whatever, that's another conversation.
No, no, I get it, and I get
You
it.
know?
So, but I've already been attacked, right?
And why so? How so? And why so? I gotta hear this.
So here's the thing, man, and I don't want to make them famous.
Don't you? I gotta mention names, but just say
Yeah.
the what happened.
So what ended up happening is I came out as Comicsgate not too long ago.
Okay.
Because I'll give you guys a little bit of history. I've been following Zach, Ethan, and a bunch of other guys for a while. I agree with a lot of what they said. Didn't agree with some other things, but for the most part, what I agreed with was comic book based, and I liked what they were creating. I liked the community that they were making. Every community has bad apples. I think everybody said it. Every community has bad apples. So
every community, every color, every race, every
right.
gender got its bad apples, and that's regardless of what the fuck you're into.
Right. So here's where the attack comes. Right? There's this one gentleman sees my post. Right? Sees, hey, Comicsgate this, whatever it was I posted, and he's like, Comicsgate doesn't love you, or Comicsgate doesn't want you, or something like that. Okay. He left it up for about a minute, deleted it, and then posted my post over to his followers about like, hey, here's a Latino in Comicsgate. We've seen everything now. But to me, it's like, I'm not the first Latino in Comicsgate, first of all.
You're not, because I know that I've seen, again, I've also blocked many because, again, of any bullshit. Like, don't come at me or listen. Don't come at me no bullshit. I don't play that. You get blocked. I don't have time for this.
100%.
You feel me? So, but I could get that. So you got it. Now, this guy goes and he blasts you on his own page. Does he tag you when he does the blasting?
Oh, he quote tweeted me.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So it's cool. He quote tweets me. A couple people DM me. Okay. Right. A couple people who have followed me. Again, I'm getting a whole bunch of follows that I don't know.
All of a sudden, your DMs are lit.
And it's people talking the crap. Like, bro, what do
you mean by crap, though? What were they telling you? Let's just talk about it again.
Yeah.
It's just, again, education and digging in. So you come out as this, as a Latino. So how were they attacking you? What was that? What type of verbiage were they using on you?
Yeah, so basically what's going on is they would say, all right, so you're a Latino in Comicsgate, like a bunch of, ist and phobes, this and that. Like, these people don't love you. They don't want you there.
Yeah.
You're making a fool of yourself.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The only hate I've gotten since throwing my hat in with Comicsgate has been from people outside of Comicsgate. Right?
Okay. Can I ask you, when you were doing your initial project, were you getting any love from Comicsgate as well as regular folks before your declaration? Were you getting love from both sides?
Yes, sir. So there was a few followers that after I came out as Comicsgate, a few people who backed the Kickstarter were like, "Oh, I'm so glad I backed your Kickstarter because I was Comicsgate." Right? And obviously a lot of Comicsgate people don't use Kickstarter.
But I don't understand, but why use the hashtag with the gate? I mean, at the end of the day, gate sounds awful, people. I mean,
it does.
Who declared anyone gatekeepers? And that's what that's what really also turns me off. Not just, like the certain homophobia and like colorphobia, whatever you want to call it, sometimes that I see, but it's also that, like, why you gotta be take that gate shit off. Don't be gatekeepers. Be gate openers. Right. Change the fucking open gate or some shit, something, man. Because again, hey, listen, there's a market for everyone, and I could understand the dislike if maybe the big two do changes, but we don't own those characters. And guess what? There's a world of independent creators doing things that you may appreciate. Then there's no need of bashing no one. This is where all my anger comes from, because I don't see that any hate needs to be thrown fucking anywhere, book burnings and shit like that I've seen under the hashtag. I find that shit to be so fucking disrespectful, yo. At the end of the day, that's nonsense. Like you said, I know that's just a few bad apples,
Right.
but yeah, if that's the case, if you guys are really truly all about positivity and indie and all that shit and supporting positive energy, then y'all need to cancel these motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
So
Throw it out there, like, yo, these motherfuckers is not the real shit. I mean,
yeah.
it takes that gate off. At least Ethan, take the gate part off. That's awful, man, for real. At least in my opinion.
I'll say this. I can only speak for myself, right? I can only speak for myself in regards to saying that I'm more of a live and let live, right?
Me
But-
too, man. Don't
right.
bother me though. I've been attacked on. That's the whole thing. I got mad motherfuckers. I'm black because of that. I'm being honest there because I'm not about negative energy. Attack me because I want to, because I share things that you don't feel comfortable with. Yo, that at the end of the day, we're a news outlet, and I'm going to share everything that's popping, whether you like it or not. I'm not here to cater to you. I'm here to cater to everyone.
100%. So, but then here's the thing, right? It's like going back to the example I gave you. Any hate I've gotten was because I threw my hat in with Comicsgate, because I saw a community
Because the
hashtag.
The hashtag makes people feel emotional, my brother.
So, but then here's the thing. When have I ever, and I'm not asking you generally because you don't see all of my tweets or all of my social media history, but when have I ever said or done anything to bother anyone?
No, you're not a negative person on any scale. You put good. I understand what you're saying earlier. Right. There are always bad apples, and I'm just saying, what is that leadership behind that hashtag doing to really make sure they weed out those bad apples? Because y'all looking bad. Like I told you, off camera, that was a year that I saw Ethan. I didn't understand what was going on yet with this gay shit. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing yet. So, but I wanted to talk to him. He was an artist on Green Lantern, a comic book I was collecting. He refused to talk to me. I'm like, I ain't do shit to you. Maybe he thought I was trying to sabotage him. So, nah, man, not at the time. It's only after the fact that I got educated and things happen even within the family because of that shit. You know what I mean? And it stews bad juju to me, and especially just change it. Be open. There's no need of bad shit. Just create. Everybody could love what they love. At least it's just in my opinion. But I also understand what you mean. The changes sometimes are unnecessary. Or don't just hand over a mantle. Make a story behind it. Why does they deserve the mantle? Things like that. I get that. I'm an old school collector.
Yeah. So look, here's another reason, right? And I was looking at it, right, and I was like, okay, when we were going to launch the Indiegogo,
okay,
very, very hesitant to come out as Comicsgate and voice my support for it, because I'm sitting around wondering, man, if I do this, which again I agree with a lot, so I'm not only not being myself, right, because there's a lot of that I agree with that I want to voice my opinion on that I can't, because I'm afraid that Stephan Velez, right, legal name Stephan Velez, would never get hired by DC or Marvel.
I get it.
If I choose
well, that's all social media too. You always got to be careful. Just listen, bro. Just it is what it is. You got to be careful about what you do, but to be true to you, and that's okay. I hate when people get shamed for being who they are. Just let everyone get educated over time. I've learned a lot of shit over time, and people do change, opinions do change, feelings do change. So over time, it's okay. Maybe because I'm an old dude telling y'all motherfuckers this shit. But I'm just telling you, it really is the journey that, things change over time. People can change, opinions can change, feelings can't change. Those are motherfucking facts. And if you people don't understand that, because I see people also like getting aced, like blocked out of shows because of past behavior. But then we have other behaviors being okay because it's one gender versus another. That's not the typical, but then it's okay. If you know what I'm talking about with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, right?
Right.
She beats him, but she still got a movie role. If it was the other way around, Johnny Depp's career would have been finished.
No, 100%. I mean, Johnny Depp's career was finished for a long time. Right?
Facts.
So,
Because
look,
yeah.
no, but I was gonna say, like, just to finish on that last point, right? So I'm looking around and I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna get hired by these two, right? Because I had aspirations. I
But
wanted.
do you really want that though? Because I want to just tell you this.
Here's where I
Because
was
the last
going.
okay.
No, here's where I was going. I was so stuck into creating a universe, right? The Veilwalker, all of his side characters, creating all these other spin-offs and all this, that I wasn't, and I spent a long time really not paying much attention to what was going on in the industry.
Okay.
Besides what I would see from a few videos here and there. Like I said, I used to follow Zach and what was going on there. Then I realized, I was like, do I even want to work for these people? Do I want to not be myself in order to keep a pipe dream alive?
Yeah.
A pipe dream that I might not even actually want, right? Do I want these people to come in and completely change what I spent the last 10 years working on?
Yep. There you go.
Because they want to appeal to something else, or maybe, hey, Alexander's too masculine. Or, hey, look, these characters that you made are we gotta insert this or insert that. Do I want that? No. So I saw a community that I mentioned previously. I saw a community that actually seems to want and support characters like the ones I'm making. So why not go to them and give them an opportunity, or give me an opportunity to prove to them that this is what they want? And
you could do that though, can't you, without the usage of any hashtag or validation that you're behind it?
Maybe, but it would take a lot longer, right? It would take a whole lot longer.
You think it would take a lot longer though, because you never know, again, bro.
Right. So, but look, here's some of the research I did. Right. So we got a lot of people starting these Kickstarter campaigns, much like myself. They're 5K, right? First Kickstarter campaign, 5K. I know a lot of people who are creating comic books that would do numbers on Kickstarter, that should do numbers on Kickstarter, right?
Yeah.
That aren't siding with one side or another, right? But they've been making campaigns for the past 5-6 years, and they're still only getting to about 300 or 400 people.
Okay.
My main goal is not the dollar amount, but the amount of people. Let's say I would have raised $50,000. I would trade $50,000 for 50,000 supporters.
Gotcha.
In a heartbeat. And I think by coming out and actually, expressing myself, saying, hey, look, I support the movement. I support the movement against a lot of what's happening. Now, again, I hate that I have to preface this. I don't support everything. No one supports everything, right? But I think that
it's like any even political party, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you don't support everything they say, but you got to be on the side, right? Not me, though. Fuck everybody, bro. I'm the Crusader side. Crusaders political party, kiddo.
That's it, independiente.
Wepa. Nah, bro. That's right. I just stay indie, nigga.
Yeah, always. Man. So that's what I did. But look, I could be myself within the group. I wholly believe that. I think I'm unique enough. My products are unique enough. My ideas are unique enough that we can be ourselves within this group, right? And they are a huge platform of just loyal supporters. Because look, I've seen, and I'm gonna come out and say it, I have seen a lot of SJW projects absolutely flop. They'll ask and they'll demand changes.
So all right, let me ask you this. In your opinion, then, my brother, what does an SJW project look like?
I'm not Starfire.
I gotta ask, bro.
I'm not Starfire, right? I'm not Starfire. Is an SJW project, and there's a lot of smaller ones of people trying to pander and people trying to sort of toe that line, right? And then those.
So would you say that, like, the what's his homie Tim Drake, is that a pandering?
Tim Drake just came out bisexual, right?
Yep. All of a sudden.
Yeah, it's instead of creating a brand new bisexual character that they own, that they can actually show a history of that character, right? Going through the struggles, because look, I have friends that are gay and bisexual, very close friends. I know the struggles that they have gone through because they have confined them in me. They have told me about them. Tim Drake all of a sudden now is bisexual, but he didn't go through any of the trouble that they went through growing up with these confusions and inconsistent feelings, right? Okay. So to me, it's like, not only is it pandering, but you're not doing it justice.
Gotcha.
Right? So when I say that a lot of SJW projects fail on these platforms are projects, independent small projects that are tailored to these people, and they don't garner the backing that people think they're gonna get. Much like when these changes happen to these mainstream characters, they end up flopping for a lot of the time. But yet here's a community that legitimately supports comic books. And that's kind of what we're going at. We're going to where people want books like mine. Gotcha. That's the main purpose. If we were to extract anything from this conversation, is I'm going to deliver my book where people legitimately want my book.
Gotcha. And if they want that book, all they gotta do is wait right there, right? And go, because it's coming soon for the Veilwalker, so you get a taste what he's talking about. He's already done it on Kickstarter, folks. And he got some awesome extras here. Now, I'm not here to judge no one, brother. You know what I mean?
I know.
Absolutely not. Because again,
I appreciate the time. Like, I appreciate you giving me the ability to talk,
Yeah, why not? Because again, journalism nowadays is all opinion. But if you want to talk journalism here, I want to talk to you and let you speak your piece, because, let's be unbiased here. I already told you I don't support this shit. Still, I don't.
Yeah, no, of course.
No matter what. But because just of my past history, that's not, I'm Puerto Rican, bro. Us Puerto Ricans don't let go shit very easily.
No, but I'll say this, is people need to understand that just because we don't agree doesn't mean that we can't go throw a few beers back, man.
And that's the truth, bro. Because believe me, I have a lot of people in life I don't agree with, but let's not talk all that nonsense, and let's just be ourselves and just talk about what we do love. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's what matters. And listen, everybody, each unto themselves. That's what it is. Motherfuckers probably don't like me. That's fine, because I share everything. You know what? Bad on you. I don't care. I do what I do. You do what you do. At the end of the day, you're creating an awesome book. If whether or not I agree with your politics, that's all different. We don't. You did it, and you know what? And you didn't clarify what it is that you don't agree with. So, kind of means that there's so much open conversation there, because, you know what I mean. Just because you didn't state what you meant, like what sides, doesn't mean that I understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean? There's just certain things that you could get with from a comic book perspective, but from a moral perspective, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things you don't agree with from a moral perspective. Is that correct? At least for me to assume.
Correct. But again, I want to say that doesn't come from everybody. So look, let's just use myself as an example, right? The fact that people will come out and just believe that just because I'm Hispanic, which is already starting off incorrectly, just because I'm Hispanic and joining comics, they don't like you. Like, there's already a negative idea and incorrect. Like I said before, I've gotten love from top to bottom.
And honestly, like again, just because of the community that has gotten at me, I've seen that it comes from all walks of life. So it goes from Latino to Black to white to Asian. I've been attacked but again, because the first thing I do is look at their profile. You attack me, you got that hashtag. Okay, bye. I'm not dealing with you. I can't. I don't have the time. No. I'm too busy, my friends.
Yeah, no, I get it. I might be the same way if they had there was a hashtag, it's like SJW Warriors, or something.
Don't start no shit either. Por favor, pineapple, por favor. I think you just fucked that up.
Actually, I hope they do start a hashtag, so that way I know exactly who to ignore. No, but look,
not right, bro.
I'm open to discussion.
That's fucked up.
I'm open to discussion all times. I'm open to hear everybody's opinion.
We're all creatives at the end of the day, and we should all be able to talk to one another. And again, listen, at the end of the day, you're never going to agree 100% with everybody in your life, because if you surround yourself with people that only agree with you, you're going to be very bored.
100%. A bunch of yes men,
the truth? Yeah, bro. Yeah. I ain't a yes man. You know what I'm gonna do after this podcast on a Saturday? I'm gonna hang out with homie in person and have a brew. whether he's comics kid or not, at the end of the day, we're two Boricuas in the business trying to make our hustle. So, you know,
100%.
we don't talk the politics. We just talk about, the realness and the struggle.
Medallita.
Epa, para que tú sepas, this is great. Listen, thank you for the conversation. Again, like I said, I promised I wasn't going to get at you and attack you in any form. I was going to allow you to speak your piece because, again, that's what journalism should be about. And I'll try to ask those questions, just clarify again that we're not about this, but to allow you to speak your piece, so that way people in your community, because I know there's people in your community that do watch us and do listen to us. So, because we do, again, in that reality at times, have creators that are part of the movement, but again, because we don't talk about it, I don't know. And I'm not trying to do my research. I'm just here to support these good comic books, good people, that are just trying to do some good stuff. And so long as you stay away from the negative energy, then you're my people. Just stay away 100%. From the negative, but just support what you love, ignore what you don't, and yeah, make it simple for everybody.
100%. But look, it's how it should be, right? That's the issue. That's how it should be.
Yes.
Right. Everybody on one, and first of all, there shouldn't be sides, but sides were created.
Comics are for everyone, kiddo. And unfortunately, it's because of the environment of nowadays.
Right.
And the political environment. There's just so much going on, and people are not accustomed to things. So it's all about education, being able to understand. For me, at least in my side, that's what that is. People just need to learn. You can't get mad at certain things. Maybe you feel uncomfortable with changes, but change is good sometimes. Because again, I've always complained that characters get stale. Same Superman for 80 years, same Batman for 80 years, same Wonder Woman for 80 years. You know what I mean? At times it's time for changes. We're living in modern time. Let those characters die. Didn't they let the JSA die for mad years? Didn't they let Barry Allen die for mad years? You know what I mean? So allow for change and just test the environment. Don't get mad. You don't own these characters. And if you don't appreciate it, then just go ahead and bound in your own universe. Because you know what? OFFI Comics got its own universe. They don't need to go to big two. And if you love indie, maybe you could get intertwined into their universe. You know what I mean? It's just and it's okay. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's just comics, folks.
I'll say this: OFFI Comics promises no reboots.
God, right? Please, no okay, that's the one motherfucking thing that I could say I hate. Hate is a goddamn reboot and a remake. Thank you, Wachowski brothers, for doing a sequel to Matrix. That's what it's being billed as, so thank you. Yeah. Don't do no motherfucking remake. Just continue the story, yo. Just continue it. It's okay. Thank you. I hate that. I was telling my wife, God damn, what happened in Hollywood? Everything's a fuck. She said there was this old show. I forgot. I'm sorry. I can't remember off the top of my head, but she said, oh my God, maybe they should remake this. I'm like, oh my God,
no more.
Let them come up with new shit. Stop it. Stop biting off the past, my dudes.
So
you know what? Most of these motherfuckers don't even do it justice anyway.
Nah. So here, I'll tell you this, right? If you look behind me.
Show it up. I see it. This right there, the screen right there.
Yeah, so the whole top. No, actually, I'm looking at the bookshelf.
Oh, the shelf. Hey,
so the whole top row is straight manga.
Oh,
I have some trades right here.
Okay.
Right, but I'm very picky with the trades, and I'll tell you why. I got out of comic books for a long time, not because I wanted to, but because obviously, when you're creating your own universe and you're just a writer, you're investing a lot of money in the art, colors, print samples. Like,
who got time to read stuff?
Right, we got. By the way.
Oh, wait a minute, folks, wait a minute. You see how gorgeous that looks? Let me show you a little bit better. Hold on.
Oh, you got that.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is, folks. And then we got this one. And then we got this one. Yeah. Oh, sexy. Look at that shit. Woo!
So when you're doing things like this, you gotta make up your mind. I gotta keep the mortgage up to date.
Yeah.
I gotta keep gas in the whip, right? Yeah. And then I gotta invest in my art.
Especially where you live, bro. If you don't got no gas on the whip, you ain't living
at all. So, I gotta make those decisions, and I kind of fell out of comic books for a really long time.
Okay.
So when I wanted to get back into it, here I am asking for advice, right? My editor never left comic books. My editor's been a huge fan. He's got long boxes for days.
Excellent.
I ask him, hey, HP, recommendations. Where do I start?
HP.
Right? HP, the droid. That's my editor's name, man. So I was like, where do I start? Give me some recommendations. He threw his hands up. I don't know. We've had so many reboots since you stopped reading. Like, I don't know where to tell you to start.
I would tell you go to Punk Rock Jesus, have some fun there. Fuck continuity. Read some independent or some DC Vertigo stuff like that. Punk Rock Jesus by Sean G. Murphy. That's my favorite. I love that. That's my number one.
No, look back there. What I got The Long Halloween. I got The Killing Joke.
Woo.
I got a few Image books.
Nice. Which ones? Like
what? So what I got the Black Monday Murders.
Oh, a great one.
I got the Boom book. I got Gideon Falls.
Nice.
Right. So those are kind of like the things that, okay, so this is where we can start, right? Notice that the only things that I got from Batman and stuff are some of the older stuff, right? Some of the classics. Because nothing new that's being put out is all that great. And then
the Snyderverse stuff with the Court of Owls is pretty cool. You should check that
Court
out.
of Owls. I had that digitally, so I did do that. And then I got that one. You'll know when I got back into comics. It's when Batman and the Joker were fighting in the Lazarus Pit.
Oh, damn!
Remember that whole arc?
Yes. Wow. That's
right?
when you got back in. Okay.
And that's when I got back in. To reading, right? I was still writing and creating, but to reading, and I got back into that because I thought they were finally going to do something different with the Joker,
and they didn't.
I was like, "Yo, hold on, time out. The Joker might have been around the whole time and then we kind of find out that he edited the photos and put himself in or something." Like,
Photoshop, right?
Why you gonna do that? So I just picture the Joker sitting at his little den of thieves, sitting on Photoshop and editing the pictures.
Yeah, man, because an 80-year-old. This is why we need new. This is why after 80 years, give us the new people. If Batman is only a master Superman, just give us new folks, from a while ago. Anyway, stop the goddamn reboots.
The reason we went on this tangent, right, is to explain why the way that we're creating OFFI comics, the OFFI verse is what we call it, right?
Epa.
Is we're creating a world that regardless of if 10 years from now, Alexander and the Veilwalker are no longer in it, the world still has hundreds of stories to tell.
Gotcha.
Right? So that's what we're going to do. None of our stories are ever going to go on forever. Right? These stories have beginnings and ends. It might take us 10, 15 years.
Like a real novella. Like a real novella. There's an end.
Right. So we have an idea, right? We looked at manga and we looked how successful manga has been, and we're like, what can we extract from it? And it's unique, brand new characters in a unique, brand new universe that has no ties to anything else. So it's their rules, right? Their rules. And these are stories that progress and for the most part have an ending. Have have a conclusion that's satisfactory to the readers. Absolutely. Right? So we're not gonna dangle something above them forever. For 80 years from now, the Veilwalker is still doing the same stuff. Like, no, man.
You know what? Let me do this. Let me show the Indigo promo real quick so people could know what the hell we're talking about before we go.
Alexander Salvador, the Grand Inquisitor, the Veilguard's greatest champion, stands as our only line of defense. This perilous journey will change him forever, and the fate of our world will rest on his shoulders. The dark fantasy will keep you turning the pages for more. Will Alexander be our salvation or our doom?
Wepa, that promo looks fantastic, kiddo. Good job.
I appreciate it. Hey, you know why we call HP the droid?
Why?
Because not only is he my editor, he's my video guy. He also did the voiceover.
Oh, word! Oh, right? Don't get trying to sound like the movie guy.
This guy is an absolute android. I keep him locked up in my basement, just working. Folks.
So talk about it. Where can people hit it again, right? I know you can see it up top on 9/8, but go ahead, right? Tomorrow, right on 9/8, September 8th, 2021, you can start digging into that Indiegogo and start supporting, what the Veilwalker is all about with some awesome, beautiful extra covers. So talk about that real quickly. Like, what type of extras can folks get based on certain tiers or pledges?
So we're actually kind of covering it up right now, but we got a few tiers. So we have the regular cover, a main cover, which is the one that's right under me. Then we have our variant cover, right, which is exclusive to this particular campaign, which is our George Fornes cover. Right? I mentioned that he's currently on Rorschach. I think they're almost done with that, right?
Yep.
Then we're creating not just a trading cards, but we're creating a playing card game, right? Think Yu-Gi-Oh, think Magic,
nice.
think all that, right? Because I think the story.
You know how to place that? You know how to play that stuff?
My editor does, and I'm learning.
Oh, I need him because I need to beat the random dude's ass for my team. He's talking so much shit to me about he's the card master, the dungeon master. I need somebody to whip his ass for me. I need a hitman.
Right. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hook you up with a droid, and he'll train you there. But yeah, so I'm going with those people that know about it, right? Because one thing I do is delegate. Right, I had the idea of creating the playing card game. I grew up with Pokemon. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh, and I actually delegated that to people who know more about what's currently going on right now.
Okay.
So you see those two images in the middle. Those are actually the two playing cards that you guys are going to be able to get during this campaign.
Say words. I could kick motherfuckers' asses with this real quick.
Yes, sir. Right. The pin is also included. So that pin that we talked about earlier today is included. So there's that, and then we have the foil cover package, right? What we call the Veilguard package. Includes both foil covers and everything you see on screen right now. Plus, as we start hitting stretch goals, which actually has some samples for the stretch goals, right?
Oh, check that out. Nice.
Right.
Oh, cool.
We got the bookmark.
Check that out, man. So I never lose my page when I'm reading Veilwalker.
100%. Listen, man, I got everything at hand. Look, we even have the printout for the main cover.
I love that cover, man. That shit is so fire, bro.
Yeah, so you can get it. Look, I have it framed in my living room.
As you should. Cover. As you should. Be proud of that bad boy.
So we got it all, and honestly, I think there's a little something for everybody. And like I mentioned earlier, I mean, if enough people ask for it, we can definitely create a new tier for the statue, and we'll get rolling, man. You
should, folks, support the statue, because that joint is fire. There you go. Look, it's gonna go live on the 9th, and how long does the campaign go for?
It's gonna be 30 days, so it should be 30 days on the 8th of October. If you guys sign up before tomorrow at midday, so tomorrow 12 p.m. Eastern, you're going to get an exclusive printout that only people who sign up for the campaign are going to get.
There you go. You hear that? Sign up right here, folks. Get it done real quick. And if you want to learn even more about what the big homie is up to, go visit him on both Twitter and Instagram at OFFI Comics. That's the big homie right there. Stephan, man, thank you for sharing your time, talking about your journey, talking about your new affiliation. I hope I wasn't too hard on you, bro. I'm not trying to be hard. I'm just trying to understand. That's all it is, bro.
No, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me a platform. I appreciate you bringing me on, even after finding out, and
no, well, listen, I'm not here. I keep telling people here, Comic Crusaders is here to support independent creators, and this was just an opportunity to maybe learn why you're doing this. Who knows? Maybe somebody understands where you're coming from or not. Again, just my history is where, Again, I repeat it. Puerto Ricans are addictive, folks. We hold a grudge. I hold a grudge. So it's like,
I think I'm still mad that Miles Morales.
Until I get a formal motherfucking apology, I'm holding a goddamn grudge.
I don't think I can help you with that. But what I will say, I know where you're coming from, because I'm still mad that Miles Morales and the Into the Spider-Verse wasn't Puerto Rican enough. I said it right here. I get
it. You know what?
Yeah,
no. I said that before, but there was enough Puerto Rican word usage that at least it didn't go the Mexican route that I appreciate. There was a couple of words that I was like, okay. At least they hit that. Yeah. Watch it again. There's a couple of PR words they use, but I always tell that to people. And you know what? I appreciated what 50 Cent said. 50 was the only rapper I know that was interviewed, and when they were talking about it, he's like, nah, y'all gotta know that Mexicans, there's Puerto Ricans, there's Dominicans, they all got their own accents. And I'm like, yo, this is coming from Philly. Because he came from a diverse, melting pot that is New York, where I was raised from. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was raised with Polish people, Italian people, Peruvians, Ecuadorians, Dominicans, Puerto Rico. I mean, bro. And you know what? We saw each other as brothers and nothing else.
100%. I'll say this. The only thing I remember Miles Morales ever saying in Spanish in that movie was Bendición, mami.
Yeah, and which is the Puerto Rican thing. No other really race says that.
That's it? That's all we get? Come on, man.
There was another comment, though, but I can't remember right now because I'm slightly intoxicated, because that's what happens here on the...
you should have told me. I would have drunk with you, man.
Oh, but no, listen.
I didn't know.
We're going to do this on Saturday in person, and then we could record a scene of us singing some like pepas live on screen. I mean, no patillas though. We don't do patillas, folks. All right, not unless they're on sale. Hey, brother, if you need some pepas, I know somebody. All right, but
we all know somebody.
Isn't that crazy, bro? What is wrong with us? Why do we always know somebody?
That's where we come from. That's where we come from. That's another thing, right? When I write books, I'm coming from a point of view that most of the people writing books don't come from. So you guys are getting something completely new.
Yeah. Listen, if you're not in the culture, you probably may not get it. Yeah, because I get it. For real. So, you know what I hope to see one day, though, is Veilwalker do a chancla spell. Please, throw one in there one day. Yeah, toma un chancletazo spell. Toma.
Listen, you're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
Hey, shit! Don't fuck with me, bro. I can't wait. There you go, folks. Make sure you support this project, because I want to see the magical chancletazo. Because let me tell you, my mom has the best aim in Brooklyn, and there ain't no lie. So I'm not going to repeat what you guys do with me, but I will state what you guys do with Stephan. So make sure to follow Stephan on Instagram and Twitter at OFFI Comics. Please visit the Indiegogo, support the project, whether you're a comics gator or not. I mean, he ain't about that. He's just trying to sell a project and just, he agrees with certain things he don't. But obviously we're seeing a Latino character within that scope. So, I don't, whatever, bro. So long as they support some Latino characters, I'm good with it. Yeah, right? So go to that Indiegogo, support it. Show the love. Is going to be live on the 8th. It's going to be a whole month long. So I know you got those paychecks. Don't be messing around. Either you get 4 paychecks or 2. That means you got a little bread to spread, for this awesome comic book, but this awesome Latino creators. So support Latino creators, support POC, support Comic Crusaders. The business. Hoasi, much love, man. Thank you for sharing the love, sharing the movement, sharing the knowledge, sharing what you're going through. While we may not be 100 on that gate shit, we still people, and I could see that, you're an awesome creator. I support you as a Latino creator. That's what I support you as.
I appreciate that.
That's what I support you as.
I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Appreciate the opportunity.
Man. Not many of us in the business. So, that's what I appreciate from you. And keep doing you. Keep being real to yourself. Because that's another thing I also respect from you. You came on here today and you said, fuck it. This is what I am. This is who I am. And much respect for that, And I declared who I am. But it doesn't make us any different as people. We're still friends. And with that, I'm going to give you a cheers on person on Saturday. Thank you for hanging out with me today, though. Much love. Folks, you know what to do. Follow the homie. Follow Comic Crew. Hasta la próxima. Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.